Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Friday, January 3rd. Coming up on Cullman Today, Browns Creek Public Boat Ramp in Guntersville reopens. Funuary is here, and recent Cullman County arrests. All this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's dive into the top stories happening in Cullman today. The Wildlife Freshwater Fisheries Division of the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources has reopened the Browns Creek Public Boat Ramp in Guntersville after the completion of facility upgrades. The boat ramp is just off Highway 69 on Lake Guntersville. During the closure, a new 3-lane launching slab and a new 150-foot floating access pier were installed. The facility also features 64 trailer spaces, 3 docks, security lights, and is ADA accessible. A ribbon-cutting ceremony will be held on Monday, February 3rd, to celebrate the completion of the renovation project. The event is tentatively scheduled for 10 a.m. Additional information about the event will be posted to www.outdooralabama.com when available. This boating access improvement project was completed through a partnership between the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and the City of Guntersville. Funding for the project was primarily provided through the Wildlife Restoration Program under the federal Pittman-Robertson Act. Additional funding was provided by the City of Guntersville and Innovate Alabama, a statewide public-private partnership focused on entrepreneurship, technology, and innovation with a mission to help businesses grow roots in Alabama. The Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries operates 20 additional free public boat ramps on Guntersville Reservoir. Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources promotes wise stewardship, management, and enjoyment of Alabama's natural resources through 4 divisions: marine resources, state lands, state parks, and wildlife and freshwater fisheries. You can learn more about both of these organizations at www.outdooralabama.com. In other news, Funuary is here. WVTM Chief Meteorologist Jason Simpson says this month promises some very interesting weather setups for the South and most of the eastern United States. Simpson cautions that while everyone is talking about the cold and winter threats, we will not know more than 2 to 3 days in advance, at best, about a legitimate real snow or ice threat in the South. The cold probably will not break a lot of records unless there's a big, fresh snowpack over a big area over the central eastern U.S. This is going to be cold, impactful cold for power bills, gas bills, and it could cause issues for plumbing, farms, and even schools. And it really doesn't get started until Sunday or Monday when the first charge of very cold air hits. True, the cold is grabbing all the headlines, but there is a threat of severe storms in Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and maybe a little bit of Alabama too on Sunday and Sunday night. The main issue here will be strong wind gusts. The environmental wind alone, just what the storm system is causing, will gust over 40 miles per hour. Any extra wind from the thunderstorms could easily take that to near 60 miles per hour Sunday evening in Mississippi and Alabama. We may not have a lot of severe weather alerts with it, but it will be very, very windy on Sunday, Sunday night, and early Monday morning. Total rainfall in that storm system should be around a ½ inch to an inch, with a few spots overachieving in northwestern Alabama and Mississippi. And rounding out our top stories this morning, 2 arrests were made in Cullman County. On December 31st, 47-year-old Christy Willoughby of Cullman was arrested by deputies from the Cullman County Sheriff's Office for 2 separate violations of court orders. Willoughby faces a diversion violation charge stemming from an arson case from March 2024 and a conditional release violation charge also related to the same case. The arrest came after Cullman police responded to an incident on December 26th. Following the investigation, deputies took Willoughby into custody. She's currently being held at the Cullman County Detention Center without bond. The Cullman County Sheriff's Office arrested 36-year-old David Allen Henry of Trafford, Alabama, on December 31st for an outstanding warrant related to a sexual abuse charge from an incident in 2024. Henry faces a charge of sexual abuse in the second degree, with the victim being more than 15 years younger than him. He is currently being held at the Cullman County Detention Center with a bond set at $50,000. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up next, we'll dive into sports. Welcome back. In today's sports segment, number 2 Auburn hammers Monmouth in non-conference finale 87-58. Now let's take a look at how Auburn handled its final non-conference matchup earlier this week. The second-ranked Tigers were back home at Neville Arena Monday night to host Monmouth, and Auburn handled the Hawks 87-58 in front of a raucous crowd to improve to 12-1 on the season. Tigers head coach Bruce Pearl said his team's early slate of games was the toughest non-conference schedule in the history of Auburn basketball. The stretch included 4 wins over ranked opponents, and Pearl said he was very proud of his team for demonstrating that they can win away from home. The game was tied at 28 with 6.5 minutes left in the opening half, but Chaney Johnson scored 10 consecutive points before Chad Baker-Mazzara made his first of his 2 4-point plays to help build a 46-28 lead by halftime. Janai Broome registered his 69th career double-double with a team-high 14 points and 11 rebounds against the Hawks. Broome also recorded 3 blocks, moving him past Anthony McLemore for third on the school's all-time career blocks list. Baker-Mazzara scored 13 points, Chaney Johnson added 12, and Denver Jones went 3 for 3 on three-pointers, posting 9 points. Baker-Mazzara was 4 for 4 from the free throw line, extending his program record for consecutive makes to 39. Auburn out-rebounded the Hawks 46-27, and 10 Tigers recorded at least 1 assist, led by Tahad Pettiford with 5. Auburn went undefeated at home against non-conference opponents for the 9th straight season. The Tigers also played in front of their 61st consecutive sellout crowd at Neville Arena. Auburn will tip off SEC play against Missouri Saturday at Neville Arena at 3 p.m. on SEC Network. That wraps up sports for today. After the break, we'll bring you 4 stories in under 4 minutes. A community's generosity, cervical cancer prevention, human trafficking awareness, and protecting your pets from the cold. Now it's time to speed things up with 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Fairview Elementary called their coat and shoe drive a success. The school selected new and gently used coats and shoes in December. The community's outpouring of generosity was so abundant that the school is able to offer an additional day to shop for anyone in need of coats and shoes. The K1 building at Fairview Elementary will be open to shoppers from 3 p.m. until 5 p.m. this Sunday, January 5th. And with winter setting in soon, we're all sure to need a coat for bundling up. According to the Alabama Public Health Department, Alabama ranks 3rd in the nation for incidence and deaths from cervical cancer. But cervical cancer can be prevented and it can be stopped. The CDC encourages women to get vaccinated and get screened for cervical cancer. These 3 easy steps could result in early detection and effective treatment. Get vaccinations to prevent the human papillomavirus, HPV. It's a virus in men and women that is connected to cervical cancer. Increase cervical cancer screening, including regular HPV and Pap tests, and get appropriate follow-up tests if the screening results show abnormal cells. These services are available through most general physician's office and also may be available free to qualified individuals through your Alabama Public Health location. For more information, speak to your physician or visit the APH website at alabamapublichealth.gov/cancer/cervical. January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. The Wallace State Police Department and the Cullman County Human Trafficking Task Force are working together in a concerted effort to educate, prevent, and ultimately eradicate human trafficking in our state. Since 2007, the National Human Trafficking Hotline reported 815 cases in our state, with 1,823 victims. How can you help? Stay informed, speak up, and help create a safer environment for everyone. If you know someone who is in need of help, please reach out to local authorities or the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. And finally, as cold air approaches, don't forget about your 4-legged friends. They may have a natural fur coat, but frigid temperatures can still be dangerous for our pets. So make sure they have a warm, dry place to rest with plenty of food and water. And when they have to be outside, consider a shorter visit in the yard or an extra layer. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message.
Step into Cullman, where local heroes and community spirit shine. Introducing Community Matters Magazine from the Cullman Tribune, your guide to inspiring tales and community spirit. Celebrate our local champions and dive into the festivities at Christ Kindle Market. Feel the season's cheer and discover stories that inspire. Community Matters Magazine. Connect with your community. Find your free issue at these locations or download a copy online.
Welcome back. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week as we turn to obituaries. Kim Fowler Smith of Cullman passed away at the age of 68 on Monday, December 30th, at University of Alabama Hospital. A memorial service will be at 1 p.m. on Saturday, January 11th at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home. Wesley Neal McCoy of Logan, Alabama, passed away on December 29th at the age of 43. A celebration of life service will be held at 4 p.m. January 3rd at Hansville Funeral Home Chapel. Visitation will be from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Hanceville Funeral Home. Emsley Underwood Pulliam passed away at the age of 67 on December 21st. A private memorial service will be held to honor her life at a later date to be shared. Alan Shearer Hall Jr. of Mount Olive passed away at the age of 69 on Monday, December 23rd. A celebration of life will be at 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 11th at Ryan Creek Baptist Church in Bremen. Visitation will be at 2 p.m. and service to follow at 3 p.m. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and family. Now let's take a look ahead at the weather for today and the forecast for your weekend. Today you can expect sunny skies with a high near 49 and a light breeze out of the west in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 20 miles per hour. Tonight will be clear with a low around 25 and a northwest wind around 5 miles per hour, becoming calm later in the night. Saturday, we'll see another day like today, sunny with a high near 44 and calm winds. Saturday night, there's a 20% chance of showers after 3 a.m., mostly cloudy with a low around 32. Calm winds could pick up to 5 miles per hour after midnight, with gusts as high as 15 miles per hour. For Sunday, the sun takes a break and we see showers and a high near 57. Rain chances are 90%. Sunday night, showers continue, mainly before midnight, with a low around 30. Our chance of precipitation is 80%. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us, and remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early Monday morning at 6:30 a.m., but until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today, wishing you a wonderful weekend.